Punishment is on the way. Due to their attack on the royal family, Meghan and Harry are in for some serious trouble. Despite their penchant for attacking the royal family, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will have to adapt their strategy to accommodate their new status as a married couple. A hearty welcome back to the UK Royal News Trend Hour. To start off the new year, I think we can safely assume that King Charles and Queen Camilla will not be engaging in the following activities: making a TikTok channel about their Jack Russell Terriers, allowing Princess Anne too close to the cooking sherry, or watching Harry and Meghan's Netflix special, Live to Lead. After 2 years of content deal announcements followed by radio silence, the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy have had a busy 5 months. What with the release of her first Spotify podcast, The Underwhelming Archetypes, two Netflix shows, and Harry's memoir, Spare, in the early new year, the amount of information is staggering. With 2023 quickly approaching, it appears that Montecito's creative juices are flowing freely, minds are racing, and MacBook Pro keyboards are clacking away at the Sussexes prepare to release the content the world has been waiting for. After the publication of Harry's autobiography, Live to Lead, on January 10th, the couple has only one confirmed project on the horizon: a documentary about the Invictus Games, an initiative the Duke founded while serving as a royal to help wounded and serving veterans. And that's the whole thing. It appears that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have no further plans to work with the streaming giant on any additional projects beyond Heart of Invictus and Lead. Also, neither Spotify nor Harry have announced any new content or a second season of Archetypes. There has been no announcement of a second book by Meghan, either for children or adults, in the 18 months since the release of her first book, The Bench, in 2021. Maybe it's just a lull and Arkwell's Content Labs are busy cooking up a bunch of exciting new series right now that we just don't know about, but there's been no sign of that. Now that we've seen what the couple is capable of producing with a presumably large team, the future of their professional lives appears bright. Closer inspection, however, reveals that not everything is as it seems. Their reported $140 million contract with Netflix, which they signed in 2020 and promised would have them create content that informs but also gives hope, is the obvious and most important place to start. It's tough to find any positives or insights for the Windsors in Harry and Meghan. Their first product, a 6-part documentary with the same name, was a huge success for the streaming service, generating the kind of global cacophony that usually requires an 8-figure marketing budget. Even though many of the Duke and Duchess's revelations were recycled, the show's success can't be denied. Watching two members of the King's family dig into their wells of resentment and pain with the cameras rolling has clearly resonated with viewers. We know this because after the first volume was released, the company made it a priority to announce that more than 28 million homes had watched at least one of the first 3 episodes. Then another batch of episodes came out, and that's when we finally got to the meat of their story. It's puzzling that Netflix isn't making a big deal about how many millions of people around the world are willing to watch a Duke and Duchess turn family hostility into television programming, given that the series is still the most watched in the UK and the second most watched in Australia and the US. Moreover, there are omens of calamity, even in outlets like Variety, which prominently featured her just months ago on the cover, no less. Reactions to Harry and Meghan were decidedly mixed, with headlines like Netflix's Harry and Meghan rehashes the royal family drama one more time. The video was uploaded just after the show received a 17% audience score on a review aggregation site, Rotten Tomatoes. It remains to be seen how appealing of a commercial prospect they are if critics and viewers are not impressed by this, their supposedly most sensational output. Still, how has Netflix taken advantage of the current wave of popularity that surrounds them, having made the announcement of Live to Lead, whose release has been marked by numerous problems? Almost immediately, people began wondering if the Sussexes had anything to do with the series, because it features the late U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who passed away in the same month that the Sussexes announced their Netflix deal on September 2020. Then, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who appears in Lead, released a statement in which she confirms that she was interviewed for the film in late 2019, but has not had any direct contact with the Sussexes. Essentially, it appears as though they may have just shot pieces to the camera and wedged them into this production, and voila, a brand new Sussex show. At least they delivered exactly what they said they would. New Year's Eve is also a problematic time, as the rest of the world is busy popping champagne corks and trying to defrost party sausage rolls. It seems like an odd day to release the Sussexes' next project with the company. If Harry and Meghan can produce successful shows that aren't based on them peddling royal tales of woe, that'll be interesting to see. If their work doesn't smear the royal family, no one will want to see or read it. If they aren't capitalizing on their palace trauma, will anyone listen to what they have to say beyond their core group of believers? They have yet to prove themselves as a commercially viable content creation entity. A source close to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge told the Telegraph just before the holidays they are looking forward to people being interested in what they are doing beyond all the drama. But if they are not poking fun at the palace, will their TV show, podcasts, or books attract the kind of attention and in the numbers needed to sustain big deals? Following the release of the first volume this month, Julia Alexander of Parrot Analytics, a company that monitors global audience demand, remarked, "Who's to say it's going to be any easier for the Sussexes?" What makes them appealing to a company like Netflix if you remove their titles, remove their palace ties, remove their claims of royal racism and a callous indifference to their suffering? From a more macro perspective, it looks like the Sussexes are in a tight spot. Upon arriving in the United States and discovering the royal money teat had dried up, including having to pay for their security, the couple understandably built their entire public image and business output around their refugee status as a royal family. Apparently, they didn't consider that British taxpayers wouldn't be thrilled to pay to protect two people who had no official status and lived 8,500 kilometers away from London. They were in need of funding, and Netflix was starving for new material, so it seemed like a perfect match. Now that they've been engaged for over 2 years, Harry and Meghan seem to have painted themselves into a branding corner, where they are known less for their charitable work and more for their willingness to publicly ridicule the royal family, often with a fat paycheck attached. It's interesting to see that the reception in the US is not quite as enthusiastic as one might expect. A survey conducted in early December found that while 52% of Americans like Kate, Princess of Wales, 43% of them like the Duchess of Meghan Markle. In the end, Kate's net approval rating is 20 points higher than Meghan's. At 52%, Harry and his brother Prince William are nearly tied for the highest approval ratings. When the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve, will many people turn on a show featuring RBG, Ardern, and the incredible Greta Thunberg to get pumped for the coming new year? Here's betting that Netflix execs will be watching their numbers intently, even if most of the world isn't. Even if Charles and Camilla are too busy blending jugs of pina coladas to worry about whether or not the dogs got in their partridge pate. What do you think? Opinions on this couple, please share your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll discuss Meghan and Harry too. You should like and share my video with anyone who finds it helpful if you find it to be so. To ensure you never miss any of our new videos, be sure to subscribe to UK Royal News Trend channel on YouTube. Now I appreciate you watching, so thank you very much and good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.